Steph at Steph Read Run. It's been a week or two since I've posted. I'm here to do a very late September wrap-up video for you. I did not read a ton in September. I've said this before on my channel. I've had a lot of life changes, a lot going on. My reading has kind of taken, been put on the back burner, which is fine. I've had to do a lot of other stuff, but I'm very motivated to get my October reading back up to snuff. So I have like 2.5 books to wrap up for you. One of them I read mostly in August, and I think I wrapped it up in my August video, but according to my Goodreads, I actually finished it in September. So I'll mention it anyways. So yeah, I guess we'll get started. So the book that I read mostly in August, but finished in the month of September was One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. And I wrapped this up in August, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much. This is a reality TV, like fake, Bachelorette-esque type show that is centered around their first plus size character, B. Schumacher, that's right. I was like, I can't even remember her name. And this is about her journey of being like in the center of attention on a big reality dating show. And it was really good. I liked it. This was the Three Blondes and a Book Club pick. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5. Not exactly what I thought it was gonna be, but still very enjoyable. The next book I picked up in September was The Night Swim by Megan Golden. And this was really good. It is a book about Rachel, who is a true crime podcast producer who made a podcast and it just kind of blew up and got like super popular. I always think, like, if you guys ever listen to Serial, the producer for that show is Sarah Koenig. And I just thought that Rachel was like the Sarah Koenig of this book. She's a producer journalist that pursues crime around the country and puts it out on her podcast. She goes to this small town and covers a rape case of a young girl, I think she's like 16, who accuses, I don't know, a fellow classmate or another boy in the town of rape. Rachel goes to this town to cover the trial that's going on. It's a very high profile small town case, but during her time there, she's also getting these anonymous letters from someone in the town that is trying to get Rachel to investigate her sister's accidental drowning, which people think at the time it was an accidental drowning, but the sister is convinced that it was actually murder. So this kind of bounces back and forth between the rape case that's ongoing, the trial that's ongoing, and then Rachel also investigating these letters and this other case on the side. So it kind of switches between the two. And it does it in a really good way. You also get pieces of like the podcast in this. I did not listen to the audiobook, but I really think it could be a really fun experience to do that too, because you do get like excerpts of it. So I would be curious to listen to that as well. Again, I really enjoyed this. It moved really well. It's not super long. It does cover a lot of very dark things. Obviously rape, sexual assault, domestic violence, just general violence and just bullying and abuse, and there's a lot of crappy people in this small town that she goes to, now that I think about it. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It talks about really important things. It was very eye-opening, and also just like generally it just kind of made me angry about various things. That's what books are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you feel things. And I really like this. I really recommend it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was really good. It was really fun to read. And the last book that I picked up in the month of September was Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. You guys are probably really sick of seeing this book like everywhere because it's like been on the bestseller list forever. It's been out for a long time. Like Reese Witherspoon Book Club picked it out, but I finally picked it up and I thought it was so good. This is a book about Kaya, who is a young girl that grows up in a very rural community in the bayou in North Carolina. And the book starts off with actually in the year 1969, where they find the body of Chase Andrews, a boy in the town. They find his body in the marsh. And then you kind of go back and learn all about Kaya and her upbringing in this very poor, remote part of the country. And she's dubbed by the town people the Marsh Girl, who they just assume is this like dumb homeless person living out in the middle of nowhere. But actually you learn that Kaya is extremely resilient and intelligent, very smart and woman, and she's one of the most fun, amazing protagonists that I have read in a really long time. So the book kind of starts off with, obviously you have a murder mystery, but it goes back and you just learn so much about Kaya and how she was brought up and how she learned just to survive, able to survive off the land, but also educate herself, make relationships, and just be social in a way where she, had to survive. It was incredible. The story was so good. The ending was stunning. I just can't recommend it anymore. I think my mom recommended it to me. Liv over at Liv's Library inspired me to pick this up as well. I also listened to the audiobook. Like all of it was just so good, and I really hope that you guys pick this up because it was just genuinely a good story. And it was very atmospheric, like just like the description of the food and the marsh and the wildlife and just everything about it just transported me, and it was amazing. I really, really loved it. This was probably easily one of the best books I've read all year. 5 out of 5, 100%. So that's it, everybody. September wrap up. I'm really excited to continue my reading. I'm currently in the middle of Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. Next, I'm not sure what I'm going to pick up yet. I think I want a spooky book. I'm also going to participate in a couple of readathons. And yeah, that's it. I hope everyone's having a great spooky October so far, and I will talk to you guys soon.